Okay, Nick, we've got to start with a big topic in the football world at the moment. It's Arsenal crashing out of the Champions League in midweek away at Bayern Munich. I just wonder how that will impact them in this Premier League title hunt. Of course, Man City, they crashed out of Europe as well against Real Madrid. But that was very different. Man City dominated that game, had loads of chances, didn't take them. Real Madrid hung on for dear life and then won on penalty kicks, and that's the luck of the draw. So Man City will be feeling less down than Arsenal, I think. Do you agree with that? Because Arsenal, big opportunity playing away at Bayern Munich. Yes, it's a tough place to go, but this is not a vintage Bayern Munich side. And it just looked to me that Arsenal were tired and just showed all of their inexperience in the, 180 minutes against Bayern in the quarterfinal leg. So what do you think about that? And how do you think it will impact them going forward?
Yeah, I was kind of amazed this morning after the game, after people had some time to relax and refute. There are Arsenal fans calling for Mikel Arteta, to be fired. And it's one of those things where I think the expectations around Arsenal were so much bigger than the expectations inside of Arsenal. I think, you look at this club and you think about where they've been in the past, and, they have an Invincibles on their record, and there's just something about them that isn't there yet. And it doesn't mean they won't be there yet to win the Premier League title this year, but I was writing the post-game recap, and Arsenal completely underwhelmed me yesterday. Bukayo Saka looks cooked, like, just for this season. He's not, but they looked like a team that had been lost a lot of energy. And I don't know, still taking a deep breath, how you don't qualify their return to the Champions League as a success. So I'm just wondering if inside that room it isn't, we're not going to win that. We didn't really think we were going to win that. Now let's go try and win this. And after 2 off performances in a row, I think there's a good chance they get back on their feet.
Okay. All right. I took a slightly different approach to that. I do think this is a big opportunity miss playing against Bayern Munich, who I think Arsenal had quality. If they would have been at the top of their game, they could have quite easily beaten Bayern Munich over these 2 legs. But I just feel like it's happened again. I wrote about it. I was at the Aston Villa game last weekend, and are they going to collapse again under Mikel Arteta? And it all feels eerily similar to this time last season, and even the season before that, when they collapsed late in the season to not qualify for the Champions League, and then the title race last season, and the same thing's happening now. And if we talked about it a lot on this show, when you're running the same guys out there, Odegaard, Saka, Declan Rice, week after week, the lack of squad depth, which I think is something Arteta likes. He likes having a tight-knit squad and not that many players, so that everyone is kept fairly happy because they're playing. But then he keeps rolling out these guys. Like you said, Saka's looked unfit for a long time now because he's been carrying knocks and battered all over the pitch. Odegaard probably shouldn't have started in the second leg, but he did, and he's their go-to guy. So I think it's too strong to be calling for Arteta's head. He is the main reason why Arsenal are in this place right now in the Champions League quarterfinals, fighting for the Premier League title, and everything he's developed and built at Arsenal. So he definitely shouldn't get sacked or anything like that. But I do think there are some familiar failings from him, but then maybe it's part of the development of the club as well. He's talked about that after the game, saying we need to be in this situation probably another 3 or 4 times, like a lot of big European teams have been, to then think about going to the semi-finals and the final. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I think
that's ridiculous, to be honest with you.
Right, this feels like an opportunity missed, though, right? That's the main point I'm trying to make for us.
Yeah, I think there's nuance. There's different facets to this. Yes, it's an opportunity missed for sure. They did not. Either they didn't have the juice or they didn't really try to attack the way they want. And I don't think Mikel Arteta would have went in there and said, don't attack. I think they just weren't firing. And that happens from time to time. I guess I take some umbrage with part of what you say regarding the similarities to last year. Timing-wise, the way it's happening and the way it may turn out, yes. But to me, there's a difference here. And that difference is, yes, absolutely. Talk about Arteta not rotating. That is valid. But I don't think the mentality would have been the same. I don't think losing to Villa is shocking I don't think it should. It was shocking to us because we had built up this three-way title race. I think everyone did. It might have been shocking to Liverpool. It might have been shocking to Man City, but I don't really think it should have been shocking. That's a good team that they lost to, and maybe they're just running out of steam. And the other thing I want to say, and this I would ask of you, who has a longer history in the Premier League than me, which is just a couple decades of watching as a fan, it seems to me when teams drop off in a season, good teams, it's never for just one game. And that the Villa game probably should have been a warning bell for traveling to Germany. Like, don't we see that even with City? It's not just one game. They may not lose 2 in a row because a bad performance could still be a win, but it just feels like maybe this was Arsenal's skid, and how quickly they can make it a mini skid is the most important part.
Well, that's it right now, isn't it? Because they're still in the midst of a title race in the Premier League, and they're only 2 points off Man City in top place, and they play twice before City play next. So they've got an opportunity here to really get straight back on the horse, get firing, and say, you know what? Champions League didn't work out for us. Like you said, was still a very good campaign, back in it in a while to get to the quarterfinals. Let's build some positive momentum now and just go all out, because that's all they have to worry about. The Premier League here on out, but they play Wolves away on Saturday under the lights at Molineux. And my word, I feel like Wolves are one of the last teams you want to play in this situation when you're a little bit low on energy, maybe feeling a little bit sorry for yourselves. And they are going to put up one heck of a scrap. And then you look at Arsenal's remaining schedule after that. I mean, they play Chelsea, Tottenham, Bournemouth, Man United, and then Everton. I mean, they definitely have the toughest remaining set of fixtures compared to Liverpool, Man City in this title race, Nick. So I am a little bit worried there. I personally don't think they were going to win it anyway. I think they'd left themselves a little bit too much to do with this schedule. But on the flip side, Man City also getting dumped out of Europe, the way it happened, the way that they were hoping to go back-to-back trebles, I mean, that could have an impact on them as well. So, hey, you never know. You never know for Arsenal, but I want to see a reaction and just probably a bit more rotation from Arteta between now and the end of the season. I think that's the only way they're going to be champions right now, is if they really commit to rotating and just giving some of these fringe players more of a chance, because the likes of Nketiah, Thomas Partey, and others can come in against Wolves and be totally fine and help them win that game. But they need that opportunity to shine. And I haven't seen that enough from Arsenal this season. We talk about the rest of the Champions League campaign, Nick. Obviously, semi-finals are set with Dortmund against PSG, Bayern Munich against Real Madrid. What are your thoughts on that, and any kind of favourites to win it all? I guess the big storyline we're looking at is Mbappe leading PSG, potentially in his final game against Real Madrid, his future club. It hasn't been confirmed, but we all know that's going to happen this summer. So that will be quite the showdown at Wembley if that one comes up.
Yeah, so incestuous, really. There are so many rematches and reunions that could happen here. I am, just to be completely honest, and a lot of our viewers will know I'm from Buffalo, New York, and I'm proud of that. And Dortmund's our sister city. I am 100% beyond Dortmund. I don't really want to see any of the other 3 teams win it. I wouldn't mind it for Mbappe. I wouldn't mind it for Harry Kane. I would mind it for Real Madrid. But the idea to me, it's just, I want to see Dortmund against somebody. This is a team that has sold Bellingham and sold Haaland, and sold a player each to all of the remaining teams that they could possibly play. And so I think there's probably a good bunch of people that are probably saying, let's just kind of root for them. And if they don't get past PSG, we'll reevaluate who is our favorite. Not our favorite, meaning the favorite to win, but like my favorite team that I want to win here.
Yeah, of course, as well. I think it's so interesting that Dortmund played PSG twice in the group stage, and now they're ending up with each other in the semi-final. I wonder if that plays into that and their game plan. Just being
Newcastle should feel great. Newcastle should feel phenomenal.
Yeah, and AC Milan as well. But I wonder if that is an advantage to a team like Dortmund, who can maybe set up, because now they played against PSG twice and know how to. I don't know how you can really prepare for Mbappe when he's on form, but PSG, when they're red hot like this and having Luis Enrique as the coach and being more of a team now rather than individuals, obviously very capable of winning this. Real Madrid, though, just the experience at this stage of the tournament and the advantage of having Bellingham in this kind of form as well. I'd probably make them favorites.
Getting through City. I mean, this probably feels a little bit like bonus money for them.
Yeah, because I don't think they expected to do that, go into the Etihad, but they did it. Somehow they did it. And again, Bayern Munich, it's a bit of experience and destiny about them as well. Would love to see Harry Kane win something personally after all the ridicule he's got. But I think it's pretty much a wide open Champions League. But I think most people would say Real Madrid, PSG final, see what happens at Wembley. So it's going to be a fun one. What's that?
No, sorry, Joe. One other thing to me is I'll be interested to see how Thomas Tuchel's viewed if he gets to a final with a third different team. Obviously, he'll be also playing against one of his former teams no matter what. I think the subplots are still there and crazy. I'm a little disappointed. I would have liked to see Barcelona or City or Arsenal here for the talking points, but there will be fun to be had still.
Oh, definitely. And yeah, you read a great column on that on Pro Soccer Talk and NBCSports.com about all the different headlines and storylines that will be swirling ahead of these semi-finals. So head over to the website for all our latest Champions League coverage. We'll have you covered for the rest of the season. Disappointment for Man City and Arsenal, but there is still plenty to talk about with the big boys in Europe going all out to win the biggest prize on the club stage.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.